This is the first time the women have given a public interview about the actor and their life in the church. Leah Remini sat down with two of Danny Masterson's rape accusers for the series finale of Scientology in the Aftermath. That 70s show actor has faced accusations of rape from multiple women.
Life changes pretty quickly for Hollywood actors. One day you are a lovable character with multiple contracts, celebrity friends, and a fan following, the envy of any actor. The next day you're behind bars for the heinous crime of violating multiple women and using your celebrity status and religious affiliation to cover it up. This is what happened to Danny Masterson, a Hollywood celebrity turned disgraced, incarcerated serial abuser. Danny Masterson is the famous actor who played the lovable and witty character Hyde in That 70s Show. He is a prominent member of the Church of Scientology, and after being charged with raping 3 women in the early 2000s, was recently sentenced to 30 years to life in prison after being found guilty of 2 counts of rape. The jury deadlocked on the 3rd. However, what has made this story even more shocking is the alleged role of Hollywood celebrities and the Church of Scientology supporting Masterson despite his guilty verdict. In this video, we will revisit the allegations leveled at Danny Masterson, the charges he faced, the sentence he received, and the state of his marriage. We'll look at the public statements Mila Kunis and Ashton Kutcher made to try and influence Masterson's sentencing, as well as the alleged role of Scientology, how it influenced Masterson's behavior, how it tried to cover up his crimes, and how an ex-Scientologist, Leah Remini, contributed to the undoing of this monster. Don't miss this episode of Danny Masterson, The Aftermath. Born into a family of Scientologists, Danny Masterson was groomed for Hollywood. His parents introduced him to Scientology at a young age, and as he rose through the ranks, his confidence and wit enabled him to stand out in Hollywood. His acting career took off early as a child, and his fame and roles increased following the success of his breakout role as Stephen Hyde in That 70s Show. Despite his on-screen charm and wit, however, a darker side lurked beneath the surface. Behind the scenes, Masterson led a life devoid of accountability, a fact that came to light when he became the subject of a police investigation. Hollywood today stands shocked at the appalling sentence its previously beloved actor and star has received. However, this sentence is a culmination of testimonies from several victims spanning across 3 decades. The real question is how these testimonies were kept under wraps for so long. It all started in 2004, when whispers began to circulate about monstrous acts being committed by Danny Masterson. A woman, also a member of the Church of Scientology, bravely stepped forward to accuse Masterson of the horrific crime of rape. She recounted a chilling tale of being drugged and violated by Masterson. However, under mysterious circumstances, a settlement was reached between the involved parties and the whispers were hushed. It wasn't until 13 years later that the case was reopened, finally putting Masterson firmly in the spotlight. As the #MeToo movement was gaining momentum in March 2017, the tide began to turn against Masterson. The Los Angeles Police Department initiated an investigation into him after a new victim emerged, accusing Masterson of raping her in the early 2000s. This woman was not the same as the one who had previously reported Masterson. The common thread, she too was a Scientologist. Masterson's world began to crumble. By March 2017, a 3rd woman had stepped forward with similar allegations. Gradually, a tangled web of accusations, rumors, and police reports began to ensnare him. By December 2017, when a 4th victim came forward, Netflix cut ties with Masterson and he was dismissed from the Netflix comedy series The Ranch. From that point on, Masterson's acting career took a nosedive, and he struggled to secure any significant roles in Hollywood. The real downfall of Masterson began when Leah Remini, a former Scientologist, launched her TV show, Leah Remini, Scientology and the Aftermath. In this show, Leah unveiled the secrets of Scientology and its destructive impact on its members. In the series finale, she interviewed 2 victims who publicly accused Masterson of rape. Among these victims were Chrissy Bixler, who had been in a relationship with Masterson for 6 years, and Babette Reales, another ex-girlfriend of Masterson. Reales decided to speak out publicly after witnessing Bixler being harassed by Masterson's fans for voicing her allegations. Together, their accusations painted a grim portrait. Masterson was a serial abuser. The episode aired on August 27, 2019, and in that same month, the 4 women banded together to file a lawsuit against Masterson. Intriguingly, all these plaintiffs, Bixler, Reales, and 2 anonymous Jane Does, were former members of the Church of Scientology. They all shared similar experiences of being allegedly silenced by the church when they tried to report Masterson to law enforcement. One of the victims also said that the church told her to keep her mouth shut and told her that you cannot be raped by a person you're in a relationship with. These courageous victims alleged that church officials threatened them, intimidated them, and coerced them into relying on the church's internal justice system. The Church of Scientology refuted these allegations and claimed that it did not infringe upon the victims' rights. However, as events unfolded in court, attorneys presented an alternative narrative. During the investigation and the trial, a deeply unsettling image of the Church of Scientology appeared. The church, according to various sources, pulled out all the stops to prevent Masterson from facing charges. One victim revealed a chilling account of how she was coerced into making peace with her trauma and completing ethics programs under the church's supervision after confiding in a Scientology ethics officer about her assault. In these programs, she was indoctrinated to believe that she was to blame for the crime. She shared, "My entire life, I was taught that victimhood is a myth. No matter your circumstances, no matter how dire, you are the architect." Fear of retribution from the Church of Scientology haunted one witness who testified against Masterson. She reported being stalked after filing a lawsuit against him. Allegedly, Masterson leveraged his standing within the church to exert pressure on his victims. A settlement reached with one victim in 2004 was reportedly under this duress, and many victims reported being stalked and harassed by church members. Masterson's affiliation with the Church of Scientology was no secret. He openly acknowledged and defended his faith on numerous occasions, and his relationship with the church was mutually beneficial. While the church used its clout to suppress Masterson's appalling crimes, he lent the controversial religion a veneer of glamour and acceptability, particularly among Hollywood's elite. He even persuaded Laura Prepon, a co-star from that 70s show, to join Scientology. Naturally, the church went to great lengths to protect one of its most valuable assets. As the trial unfolded and the church's role in covering up Masterson's transgressions came to light, the jury were left in shock. In a surprising turn of events that exposed how celebrities protect each other, it was revealed that famous actors tried to help Masterson avoid a heavy jail sentence, even after hearing the victim testimonials. The A-list couple, Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis, took center stage when they wrote glowing character references for Masterson during his trial in May for the alleged rape of 3 women. In a letter dated July 27, 2023, Kutcher painted a picture of Masterson as a man who treated others with decency, equality, and generosity. Kunis echoed these sentiments in her own letter, describing Masterson as an outstanding role model and friend, even going so far as to call him an exceptional older brother figure. This narrative starkly contrasted with the mounting evidence and multiple testimonies against Masterson. The testimonies painted a chilling picture that suggested Masterson was far from the man his co-stars claimed him to be. Once Masterson's culpability in the crimes was established, the celebrity duo Ashton Kutcher and Mila Kunis faced intense criticism for their backing of Danny Masterson. To save their sinking reputation, the couple released a video in September. In the video, which was shared on the couple's Instagram, the duo said that those letters were only for the judge to understand how Masterson behaved with his co-workers, and in no way were intended to undermine the testimony of the victims or to re-traumatize them. Chrissy Carnell-Bixler, one of Masterson's victims, denounced the letters in an Instagram story, stating, "In my opinion, you're Kutcher, just as sick as your mentor." In the wake of the backlash to their video, Kutcher resigned as chair of the board of Thorn, an anti-human trafficking organization that targets child sex abuse. Kunis also stepped down from her role as an observer on the organization's board. A key figure who brought all of the victims of Masterson's abuse into the limelight was Leah Remini. The actress, who starred in the popular sitcom The King of Queens, joined the church in 1979 as a child and left in 2013. She alleges that the church's Office of Special Affairs, OSA, is tasked with surveillance and retaliation against anyone deemed an adversary of Scientology. And that's only scratching the surface. Remini also claims that the church has exploited its tax-exempt status, which is afforded to numerous religious organizations in the United States, to finance social media platforms like Twitter to disseminate misleading posts. Explaining the church's manipulation of the justice system, Remini accused the Church of Scientology of concealing instances of sexual harassment and assault within its ranks. She argued that the church had a duty to report these crimes to the authorities, but chose to cover them up instead, and used her TV series to give some of Masterson's victims a platform to share their stories. The Church of Scientology has vehemently denied almost all of Remini's accusations. They counterclaim that she is merely seeking attention by spreading falsehoods about the church, but there is no denying that her personal investigations into Danny's actions has brought him and practices of the Church of Scientology into the public arena. Masterson's relationship with his church proved to be mutually beneficial. The church used its influence to keep Danny's hideous crimes under wraps while he made the church look cool and chic, helping the controversial religion garner some much-needed acceptability, especially among Hollywood actors with massive fan followings. He even convinced a fellow actor from that '70s show, Laura Prepon, to join the Church of Scientology. Naturally, the church did everything in its power to conceal the crimes of one of its most useful assets. As the trial progressed and the extent of the church's involvement in concealing Masterson's misdeeds came to light, the jury was stunned. On 7 September 2023, Danny Masterson was charged with 2 counts of rape and was sentenced to 30 years to life in prison, the maximum allowed by law. Lawyers suggest that Masterson will be eligible for parole after serving 25.5 years, but could also potentially be held in prison for life. His defense team are intending appealing, but for the moment he is in prison. Interestingly, just 2 weeks after his sentencing, Danny received another unexpected blow, the filing for divorce by his wife Bijou Phillips on September 18, 2023. Bijou had stood by her man for many years, including throughout the trial, even writing her own letter to the judge for leniency. In an interview to Life and Style magazine, however, she said she needed to move on with her life. With no prenup and a civil suit yet to be faced from his victims, it appears that Danny Masterson's downward spiral to rock bottom hasn't finished yet. Masterson's conviction shines a beacon of hope for all survivors of sexual violence, instilling faith that justice can indeed be served. However, when it comes to empowering women and ensuring those in positions of power and their enablers are held accountable, we still have a long way to go. The treatment of the victims of Masterson's atrocities who reached out for help from the Church of Scientology, an institution they were members of, is a sad reminder of this. However, it seems that change is in the wind, with the Church of Scientology bracing for another legal battle when they and Masterson face trial on September 22, 2025. The plaintiffs allege that they were subjected to surveillance, persistent harassment, and even the killing of their pets by the church after they reported their accusations against the actor to the LAPD. Is the powerful Church of Scientology about to meet its demise? Will this set a precedent for other celebrities who abuse their powers? Or will this be another failed attempt at dismantling the power structures of Hollywood? The world waits. But as far as Danny Masterson is concerned, he can kiss his family, his fame, his career, and most importantly his freedom, goodbye.